Hello, class. Um, I'm presenting my book this week, and it's Love You Forever by Robert Munsch and illustrated by Sheila McGraw. Um, I really love this book. It belongs in the genre to picture books, and through the illustrations, it explains um, the real feeling and meaning of the story. The illustrations have a lot to do with the story, and it tells you how important the illustrations are to portray the feelings that the author wants you to get. And through the story and through the illustrations, you get, or it teaches you, the enduring love from a parent to a child and from a child to a parent. The book is really nice. I follow the advice of Sister Flory when she said that to find new books and different books and to share them with you. Probably some of you have already read it, but this is what my first time reading this book, and I found it amazing. The message is great, and the book will make you cry, but it's really, really nice. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this book. It talks about the love of a mother, how much she loves her child. And you can see it since the beginning, like this picture. You can see how the room is really neat and the colors. It takes you, to a place when the how you want your child feel. And just by her face, by her expressions, you can see how much she loves him. And through the book, it tells you about this child, how he's growing, and all the things that she faces, and especially, one of the hardest age, which is the 2-year old. He just makes a mess, and sometimes, or most of the time, he drives her crazy, and but even so, she still, loves him. And at night, she goes by his bed and sings to him. And I think that's my favorite part of the book. The little song that she sings to him, and it says, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. And it's a really nice story. The whole story is just, you know, real life events, what happens to us, but at the same time, um, all the things that a a child will do. And then he goes and keeps growing. Now he's 9 years old and is driving her crazy. And sometimes she wants to sell him to a zoo and disappear him for a while. But then at night she goes and sings to him. And then the kid keeps growing, and he's a teenager. And now instead of she want him to sell him to a zoo, she believes that she lives in a zoo. And it is so it is funny. And all the stages in life that we had to go through, and how we feel. And I know many of us who have felt this way. I don't have teenagers yet. I have My children are still little, but I'm pretty sure we all feel the same, that sometimes they drive us crazy, and we don't know what. We definitely want to give them to the zoo or someplace somewhere else so we can have some time alone and be in peace. But then at night she goes again, and then she goes and sings to him. And I love this picture especially because he's a teenager, and she's sneaking through the door and she's picking on him and making sure that he's okay. I'll do this with my kids a lot. I will go to the room at night and just sit them and reflect on what happened all day. And sometimes, I feel like really, really that I have been really mean to them, but that doesn't stop me for loving them. And I think that is what this book is all about. She's, showing us how difficult sometimes it is, but that doesn't mean that we stop loving them and that we stop liking them forever. And it keeps going. It tells you about, he grows and he becomes a man, and now it's his turn to give back. I'm not gonna tell you the whole story. I'm not gonna tell you you know, it still, keeps going for a little more pages and things that, you know, that you do. I love this part. I I think I love the whole book. But at the beginning, I don't know if you were able to see, there was a cat. And now when he's, an old, not old, but a grown man, he has a cat as well. So to me, through this book, we get a lot of teachings. The love that a parent loves for a child, and the love that a child loves or has for a parent. That our actions are basically, are going to reflect on the things that we do, and not only to our children, but it will reflect on our children, and probably generations, to come. uh, it tells us that some actions are actually, they're we keep them with us, and we want our children to experience. If we have nice memories, we have the children to experience the same thing. So I think it was a really nice book. I would recommend it, definitely. It might make you cry, but it's really nice. And I just want to leave you with the story that it helps me. The story did help me to understand, the love for a child, and the love that she expresses for him or for her child exemplifies the love that many of us feel for our children. And um, something that I would like, to remember is that no matter how old our children can be, we love them forever. We like them for always, and as long as they live, our babies will be. And I hope you can go to your local library and find them. It's where I found mine, um, and read it because it's a really nice book. Thank you.